Hello, creators. Today I have Steven with you, and he had never run a commercial campaign for a client before, got into Next Level Creators, and for his first ever commercial campaign, has generated a 325% return on investment on his advertising dollars so far. Really incredible. And he's going to share his experience going through NLC, getting clients results, and what it's like to produce videos that actually get results these days. So, Steven, thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And Stephen, I always like to start these interviews by asking what made you passionate about becoming a video creator, filmmaker, and drew you into this line of work?
Just in general?
Yeah. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, I picked up a camera when I was a video camera when I was I don't know how old was I, 11 years old maybe or something like that with some friends, and we did spoof sequels to movies that we liked. So we made like Mission Impossible 2 when there was Mission Impossible 1, and we made Twister 2, and we were making movies. And then from that point on, I was sort of addicted to, I wanted to make movies for a living. And then I went to the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. Went to college there, studied film and video. Then after college, kind of wound up working in the journalism trade. So I worked for television news for about a decade, and wanting to just kind of get more into doing creative work versus just the journalism. I loved the journalism work; it was a great job, and especially being connected with the community and all. But I was seeing friends that I went to film school with doing more creative, fun things that I think moving into advertising can allow you to do more creative work. And so then I made that leap, started my own business, worked as a freelancer. It's been a little over 4 years now that I've been just a freelance video guy. And I live and work in a fairly small community, so I'm a little bit surprised I was even able to make that work. But it's a feast or famine business, like everyone knows. And then I started seeing, your ads were targeting me with solving that problem. And to be honest, I kind of ignored your ads for a while because I see lots of similar type ads like that. Yeah. Video production. Are you into video production? Do you want to get higher paying clients, this, that, or whatever? But I clicked on one of your ads because I just happened to be in a moment where I was really feeling that pain,
Yeah.
And press click and, went down your funnel and signed up. And I saw results pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah. So was there anything specific about our messaging that when that moment happened where you were seeing it kind of called out to you, or was specific to a situation you were in at the moment?
Well, so I've been making lots of videos for clients, and I was never doing or involved in distribution of the videos. And I would see clients bungle that a lot. They would they'd spend a good amount of money to hire me to make this thing, and they would just put it up on Facebook or YouTube. If it did really well, it would get a few thousand views, but then it dies. And, who knows if that resulted in any actual sales. And I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that clients were thinking like, wow, that was a tremendous waste of money. That was not a good, and then it looks poorly on me. And if, and then also I was just in this position when I finally clicked on one of your ads. Me and my wife had just done a vacation to the Yucatan and spent a lot of money doing that. And I had this fairly large contract that seemed like it was like a for sure thing. It was going to happen. And then I got back from vacation and it fell apart. And then from, feeling like my accounts were looking pretty good to this big project being gone, all of a sudden I was, it was one of those situations like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay the bills this month.
Yeah.
And then your ads came up and I started clicking on that, and it was just because I always saw distribution and doing Facebook ads as something I could get into, but I just didn't know how. Mm-hmm. I did some Facebook ads for myself way back when I first started, but not running a full campaign, and just seeing your offer of learning how to do that combined with the skills that I already have. It just made sense, and to have recurring revenue every month and not having to hustle for the next job all the time.
Yeah. And so at that point in time, you were really working project to project primarily. That was all the income. There was no monthly recurring revenue coming in.
Right. Correct.
And then you said that when you got into Next Level Creators, you went through our funnel, you scheduled a strategy session, you talked to one of our guys, we decided to work together. Getting into Next Level Creators, explain your experience. What was it like when you first got in? Was there a little bit of skepticism, then you got in, and what happened when you started going through the content and seeing the community?
I honestly, I wasn't very skeptical because I kind of felt like this is something like it was gonna work. Like I felt like right away it was gonna work because I just knew that getting involved with the distribution of the videos was a great idea. It was already an idea I already kind of thought I would go after somehow, but I just didn't know how. I needed that tool to take me from my current situation to the desired situation, right? And you were exactly that. So I wasn't skeptical in it, and I bought into it right away. Like I was just, I'm making this investment for my own education, so I was just gonna just listen to everything you say to do and just do it. So
Okay.
I bought in right away.
Awesome.
And I saw results right away too, because you guys are, pushing to sell the service before you even really know how to do it. And I got clients like right away.
Yeah.
And so I had no skepticism whatsoever, and it's been working right away.
And so you got in, you went through Earn the Deal, you got your first client, and that was in the travel and tourism industry, correct?
Right.
Right. And so with that, you'd only run a couple Facebook ad campaigns before for yourself, but not a full campaign, like you said. And what about, that process of sort of understanding? Because I know one of the big fears for a lot of filmmakers or creators is, oh, well, sure, I can just go learn Facebook ads on YouTube. I can just go, basically learn how to do Instagram ads on, Google. I could search around and find an ebook on it, right? And so when you got in and saw the Facebook advertising training, how it works with your video skills and packaging those things together, how intensive was it for you to comprehend get the whole system and then go and implement it for your client? How did that process? What did it look like? How did it feel going through it?
I felt like it was pretty easy, because my first campaign is a Facebook ads campaign. It was the first campaign I was running. And that module where you're teaching that, once you start getting into the perfect architecture and all that stuff, because I'd run a Facebook ad for my own business before in the past, and I did exactly what everybody does. I suppose if you don't know what you're doing, is I made one ad, put it out there, and just let it run. And I actually saw some sales from it, but learning that perfect architecture stuff that you teach in the module was sort of like a light bulb. Oh, okay, yeah, this makes perfect sense. Like, of course you do it this way. How come I never thought about this before? So and I just started implementing it right away. And so that first client was a client that I had made videos before in the past. So they were actually using and they were running their own Facebook ad campaign already, and then the owner of the business was running it himself. So Earn the Deal with him, the benefit for him was that he would save a ton of time not having to do it anymore. Yeah. And he could focus doing other stuff. Like, let's let someone who I trust and can run these Facebook ads and get me a profit do that. So then now I can focus on other things. And that, so once I realized that was the thing that really made that light bulb click in his mind, that's what I pushed after. And so the first month, so we agreed to do 3 months where I didn't take a fee, and he was going to pay me $500 a month on ad spend, right? Just to see, because it was my first one. I really didn't have any confidence really, so I was like, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah. And
within 2 weeks, we were seeing sales, and he, without me prompting, it was his idea to then up the ad spend to $1,000 a month, and then after that first month, then we just decided to start paying me a fee, and I was getting paid $500 a month off $1,000 ad spend to sell one of the tours that he sells. He sells multiple tours.
Sure.
And then we were seeing results, and then he was like, "Why don't you do the Facebook ads for this tour too?" So then I was managing about $2,000 a month in ad spend, and I was making $1,000 a month in as a fee, and that's where I'm at with that client now. and it's been going well. So it grew faster than what we had even agreed to grow it, if that makes sense. Because he was seeing results right away, and he was like, "Let's grow it now," and that's what happened.
And that's the beautiful, like that's probably the smartest and one of the most important lessons that any video production agency owner can pay attention to, which is your business no longer has to grow by finding new clients or trying to get repeat clients who paid you once a long time ago to come back and pay again. You simply are working with clients on an ongoing basis, a long-term basis. And granted, the value is there, which in your case it was. You implemented the strategies, you got your client results within the first 30 days, you upped ad spend in that 14-day window. Then again, he added in another, essentially another offer for you to market. So your rates went from 0 to 500 to 1,000 in a very short period of time. And the same thing can happen again. Granted, we keep improving the campaigns. So you keep adding new video creatives in, changing up the audiences, changing up your perfect architecture to get results better. All that's going to happen is your revenue per client will continue to climb. And that's the best way to grow a video production agency, is have the small handful of great clients where you're improving your rates with them over time. And so, yeah, you did a great job there with that client. And that's not the only client you have now. You've actually gotten another one, correct?
Yeah, and that one's a content retainer client. And they're a brewery. And so I had I did earn the deal with the owner of that brewery. And one thing that's unique about breweries, and I didn't really know this, you learn when you start talking with the business owners, because I don't, they're the experts in their business and I'm not, so I'm learning from them. They were talking about like 80% of their sales come from selling beer outside of the brewery. Like people come in the brewery and they drink, but most of their sales comes from selling their beer either in other bars or restaurants or grocery stores or whatever. And essentially, what I learned from that Earn the Deal was that they only really have one client, which is the distribution company, right? So there's the distributor, they buy all the beer, and it's the distributor's salespeople that sell the beer to the different, right? So I was like, okay, so from talking about it, it didn't really seem like a traditional campaign would really work for them, at least because we wanted to increase their sales outside of the brewery. And what we've decided to do is create a video campaign that's specifically targeting the distributor's sales reps. So to tell this brewery's story to the distributor's reps, so they have a connection with the brewery and can tell those stories when they're trying to sell it. Because a distributor will, every brewery's got an IPA or whatever. And what will make a sales rep sell one IPA over another is if they have an understanding of the story of that beer or the story of that brewery. Yep. And so that's the target. And then we're going to multi-purpose those videos. So there would be an edit that's sort of targeted at those salespeople, but then we'll make an edit for the general public and they can put it on their website or use it in social media or any of that kind of stuff as well. But, so that contract, I'm making $1,000 a month. Actually, last week we just started shooting everything. And I'm making just a, short video every month, at $1,000 a month. And so right now, I'm making $2,000 a month from, jobs that I got just specifically from doing Next Level Creators. And
that's awesome. And that's not including the other projects you have. And I know you've actually been you've been very busy with all your project to project work that you've had. And this has actually been just a side. Next Level Creators has been almost the side work for you as you're implementing this, correct?
Yes. So, it's feast or famine. So I was in this famine when I signed up, and I was really committed and I was doing Next Level Creator classes and modules all day, every day for like a week or two. And then work started coming in and then I just got bombarded with stuff. And I was taking them on because the Next Level stuff wasn't really bringing in a ton of money right at the beginning. Like I said, that first client actually agreed to do 3 months with no fee at all, even though that increased within just a couple weeks. It increased. But so I was taking on this freelance work, and some of them were very large projects, and I'm still I'm in this weird transition where it's like I'm actually in a position I want to say no to the one-off stuff, and actually disappointing some clients that have been repeat clients, thinking, and it's like I just can't take this on right now, and then I push the whole idea of doing a campaign with them. It's like, well, unless you want to be a campaign client, and I can run distribution, and this leads to direct sales. And tomorrow, actually, I have a meeting with a realtor that I've done lots of videos for, and we talked over the phone about doing a campaign, and she's super excited, and she sells like high-end $1 million plus homes. So I'm really hoping that's going to work out to be another $1,000 a month fee client. So then my monthly fees are $3,000 a month plus. My goals right now is by 2020 to be making $4,000 a month, and my goal from a year from when I started Next Level to be at $10,000 a month.
Yeah, and you see that path, like that's a vision, you believe in it, and that it's possible.
Yeah, and that's a big thing with what Next Level Creators has done for me, is like doing one-off and being just a freelance one-man band type guy. I couldn't see a path to scale.
Yeah.
Business, even if I was super, super busy, and it's like, man, I wish I had an employee. Like in the back of your mind, it's like, well, I'm in a feast right now. It's going to die off. And then all of a sudden I have this employee who I'm responsible for. And I don't want to be like hiring and firing someone back and forth, where with the campaign stuff, it's like, it's like the lights going off. It's like, oh, this is how you can scale a business.
Yeah.
And just keep getting these clients and bring in, start developing a team of people that can, help you grow that.
Yeah. It's all about leverage, right? I mean, leverage and freedom. Cash is a poor business model. If you're dealing in just cash, I tell people all the time, I talk to a lot of 7-figure video production companies. They're selling $100,000 video projects, even higher, right? And that sounds amazing from the outside looking in. But then once you get into that company and you see they have 6 employees, they are in tons of debt from renting tons of equipment, from buying tons of equipment they shouldn't have bought, and then trying to keep the cash coming in fast enough to handle the $20,000, $30,000 a month in just operational fees that they have, not including all the surge expenses that come when they get these big projects and have to hire. That's where things get really nerve-wracking, and they're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, just as much as a freelancer by himself. And it's scary to see that kind of thing. And the agency model can and has the ability to scale with profit margins, granted that you do it the right way. And I think you're doing it the right way. You're not looking for hundreds of clients. You're looking for a small number of clients. You're looking to deliver great value to them, and in return, be able to justify your rate, be able to show results that then in turn allow you to increase to $5,000, $10,000 a month per client, and just keep that small handful there. So being the best at what you do in that domain. I recommend that to all my clients. You're doing great. And Stephen, I mean, my last question for you, I don't want to take up too much time here, is would you recommend this program to other creators, filmmakers who are in your shoes or in your place before you joined?
I mean, definitely. I guess it depends on what they want.
Yeah.
Like if they don't want to get into distribution, I mean, I guess I understand that. If all you want to do is make videos, but the bottom line is, and this is a pitch. Like I was at a Chamber of Commerce thing recently, and it's sort of like a speed dating thing, and you get 30 seconds to make a pitch to this table of people, right? And I would always open up with like, it doesn't matter how good your video is. It could be the best video in the world, and Steven Spielberg made it, and whatever. If you don't have a distribution strategy attached to it, it's worthless. Yeah. It can be next to worthless if you don't have a strategy in order to get that video in front of the eyeballs of people who are actually interested in what your business has to offer. And so, especially as a freelancer, as a one-man band guy, if you don't have the ability to distribute, or you don't have a partnership with someone who distributes, what are you selling? You're possibly selling people just debt. Yeah. They're just going to be spending money and not getting anything in return, and nobody's going to want that. So I would say, if you want to make a business that people want to hire and people see the value in, then it just makes perfect sense. And especially if you're a small one-man operation like me, you know, it just makes sense to learn how to do it and do it yourself. And versus make a partnership with like a marketing firm who does it for them, which, by the way, they're going to be making way more money than you are when you're the one making the creative. You know, the creative aspect of the video making is really where a lot of the value comes in these marketing campaigns. But you know, the distributors take all the money. Yeah. They're the ones that make all the money, because that's the video by itself is worthless. It's the distribution that makes the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. I was talking to someone at a television company the other day. He's a filmmaker at a television company. He said that the company, to compete with other television companies, started giving commercials away. They don't charge for the commercials anymore. They only charge for the media buys. So they'll make you a commercial for free if you buy a media buy now. So yeah, it's insane. It's just the creative in the video creation has been packaged in with distribution. It's the best model moving forward. And so I agree with you, of course. Again, as you said, if you're someone who just wants to create videos, hey, don't do video plus distribution. Create content retainers with clients. That's still a recurring business model. And if you pair that with the right company or the right media buying team, then that is a massive value as an asset as well. And you can also track your content retainer through their distribution as well. So you just need to know how to do that. But I really appreciate your time, Stephen. Thank you so much for taking a moment to share your experience. And any last words that you'd like to share?
No, not really. Just thank you for the opportunity and to do the interview, but also just, you know, to take my business that next step. And, you know, for the first time, I feel stable in the business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying jobs are coming in and I'm saying no.
Yeah.
For like the first time since I've been a freelancer, whereas like, even if I was super, super busy, I always said yes. Because you just don't know if next month is going to be a good month or not. And now I'm in this position where it's like, I can say no, and which is, I don't know, but it's empowering in a way, because it's like, I'm in control now versus like the market being in control and me just trying to hustle to keep up and losing sleep and being stressed out and all that. Now it's, you know, I feel more in control of my own career.
That's exactly why I do what I do. And it's to help as much as I can. And, you know, challenges aren't done. Every new growth stage comes with new challenges. And I just appreciate you doing the work to get to that next level. And that's why it's called Next Level Creators. There will always be the next one. And I hope I can get you from where you are now to that next one here very quickly as well.
I hope you can too.
All right, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.